my channel. My name's Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, here with my beautiful wife.
Hey everyone, I'm Actinis and I'm lit.
She's lit. I still got work to do. But yeah, so this is Live with Acti, old school format, coming up here, chopping it up with the people about some stories. I just randomly thought about doing this today. This was like not on the agenda. We used to do them on Sunday, but I just wanted to talk to my wife about some stories that I thought were interesting. You down
Aw.
for that?
Yeah, of course.
All right, all right. She's the smartest, most fun person I love to talk to. So that's why I like doing this with her. So
Why are you flirting with me so hard? Stop.
hey, because you're looking right. You looking right.
Hey.
All right. But yeah, let's get to it. So shout out to everybody who's gonna come into the live stream later. I wanted to before we jump into this, I want to cover this question that my guy Avery asked on Twitter, and we didn't even really get to hash it out. So Avery Adams, longtime subscriber, big supporter of the channel, he asked a question like, if your significant other, would you let your significant other go on a vacation or trip by herself or himself? What do you think? And you replied,
And yeah, I replied and I said, like, of course, why not? Because why not? Like, everyone deserves some time alone or some guy time or girl time, whatever. And I honestly think it makes, like, when you come back, it makes you miss your partner and your relationship is a bit better. Like, you have that I don't know, short honeymoon phase again a little bit because you met
mm,
them. So yeah.
okay. I just feel like, I mean, you have to have that trust, that real trust. Like earlier this year, you went on a vacation with your friend, right? And I was cool with it. I was cool with it. So, I just feel like I don't know if I would get the same grace because I don't know if I could tell you, hey, I'm gonna go to South Africa for 2 weeks.
Okay. I would be fine with it as long as like you keep contact with me. And I'm not talking about like 24/7 contact. Just
Mhm.
like, every night before you go to sleep, you're like, "Hey, I'm good. I did this today." And I would be fine with that.
You'd be
You know,
cool with that?
too.
Okay, okay.
If you remember when we were living in Istanbul, you wanted to go to Egypt and you were
Mhm.
like kind of planning a little bit, but I couldn't get the visa that quickly. So, yeah, you were like about to go and stuff like that. But yeah, like that's fine if you really want to go.
Okay, okay. I'll remember that. I'll keep that in my back pocket. But no, there's nowhere really I want to go without you. But I probably would travel somewhere if it would just be visa issues. Like if I really wanted to go to Egypt, for example, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna die tomorrow. Let me go. Actor, you gotta let me go. So, you know what I'm saying?
Let you go.
Yeah. Anyway, Ozzy jumped into the chat. Salute Simon and Actors. Salute to you, Ozzy. Shout out to Nelson Moreno. He's the big moderator now, new moderator in the thing. He's like, I'm the captain now. Yes, you are the captain now. Also, Actor, you big moderator too. So we got a lot of we got a lot of big dogs here. Y'all got to handle all these wild racists and white supremacists that be jumping in. If y'all don't want to argue with them, I encourage you to argue with them, fight with them. But if you don't want to do that, then just block their ass. You feel me? Because this is a safe space for everybody to come and talk. Ozzy said, Simon, would you let Acti go on a girls' trip to Jamaica? No.
Why not?
Nah, man.
Oh, so you just let me go because it was Germany?
Okay, Ozzy said, Acti, would you let Simon go to Colombia or the DR? Mm.
Oh my God, that's so far away. I guess like I have to stand by my decision and trust you because I feel
Yeah.
like I trust you, but it would be hard. I might be getting a bit paranoid, but I would still let you go.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've heard so many bad things about Colombia and the DR. I wouldn't even try it. Like, I wouldn't even try to creep.
But
Not
like, they have hot, sexy mamacitas there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it's just not my speed. I never really was attracted to that sort of like that type of woman. You know what I mean? But hey, there's some people who are into that. But if I
Okay.
go to Colombia, you got to be more worried about me, like saying, "No, we live in here." You got to be more worried about saying, "Actually, come on, no, we living in Bogota now. You got to come."
Wow. Well, yeah. But yeah, I would still trust you, I feel like, even though I
Yeah.
was a bit cautious.
Yeah. The only thing about going to Jamaica on your girls' trip, I feel like you know, it's a bit Jamaica might be a bit sketchy, so I would be worried about your safety more.
Jamaicans are players, and I'm definitely sure I would get hit on a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first one of the first two sentences that get out of my mouth is I'm married. Have that like layer of protection. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm fine.
All right, that's good. That's good to hear. What was I going to say? So, well, Ozzy, Nelson, y'all let me know. Would you let your significant other go on a vacation by themselves? So, y'all leave your comments in the chat. Anyway, let's get to the first story today. You know what? Let's talk about Kanye. Let's go, Kanye. So, let's go to this story right here. Ye reportedly launching Yeezy Porn with Stormy Daniels' ex husband. So, this story came out like a few days ago. Everybody was like kind of shocked, but then not really because Kanye is Kanye. Like he'll do anything or say anything, and is known for these wild ideas. And my first reaction to hearing this is like, there's already a black.com. Like we don't need more interracial porn, Kanye. I don't know what you're trying to make, but I don't know. What do you think?
I was thinking what would be the content. Honestly, I was curious like is it going to be him
Mm,
or is it going to be like celebs or is it all going to be like, black porn or
mm,
what is happening there, I was kind of curious about the content, but of course at this point I'm not surprised because what is the next thing Kanye is going to do? It's not going to be anything healthy at this point.
yeah,
It's going to
yeah,
be something even more crazy. So I was
yeah. No, Kanye has gone full villain mode. Like we were talking about this before we turned on the live stream. Like, you know, since the divorce with Kim, he's gone through so many stages of grief. And it seems like now he's at this point where he just embraces the villainy. He embraces being the bad guy. He's the Nazi who hates Jews and he makes porn and decent music every now and then. So he's like, this is me, guys, and love me. What do you think?
He's the guy who claims to have a porn addiction and opens up a porn site or is planning to open up a porn site. So it's a bit like weird, obviously, but I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing for him. Like I don't know if he's trying to embrace his villainy part
Mhm.
or if he's just trying to like cause drama and make money out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Nelson made a good point. What if you turn on the porn and it's like a black guy and a white girl having sex on top of a swastika? Like what
Um,
the fuck? Like what is Kanye trying to do? Like a white man humping on a black woman in a satanic temple. Like Kanye, what do you? No, no, I'm gonna burn my computer.
wow. It
Yeah.
that and it could be like colonial America role play, that type of stuff.
No, no, that'd be wild gross. All right. Nelson Moreno says the white boy had a bigger D than him, and that killed him. So yeah, the thing about Kanye, like Pete Davidson, all the people, like everything that's happened to him seems to have just sort of pushed him over the edge. Now he's like beating up paparazzi, disavowing God, saying that, you know, he prayed to Jesus and Jesus didn't answer his prayers quick enough. What do you think about his like evolution when it comes to religion and him being on one hand this like God fearing Christian, and now he's, you know, evil villain.
Mm, I honestly think that like rappers are kind of known to be like good at sex, right? Or at least you just automatically assume like, oh, he's talking about booties and girls and all of those things, and we kind of assume, okay, like they're players or things like that. And I feel like maybe Kanye has tried to do that for such a long time, and
Mm,
he's not really that. And
mm,
that's why he has a porn addiction because he can't actually perform, and so he like is addicted to watching it because he that so bad. And also Christianity was a way for him to like be like that as well, like not that
mm.
into sex, I guess. And
Okay, so you
porn website is also that as well, like covering his weaknesses or something.
okay, so you're the vibe you get from Kanye is that really he's not packing anything or he wouldn't be good in bed. So
Yeah.
then he compensates by watching porn.
Yeah, which is like it's okay if you're not good in bed, like nobody's shaming you, but
Mm,
feel like he's trying to compensate it so hard and like him dedicating his life to Jesus and all that was sort of like that phase where maybe he sort of made peace with him not being
Mm,
that sexually talented.
mm.
But yeah.
This is my only argument against that. I do not think Kim Kardashian would marry a man who is not good in bed because we've seen Kim's performance, so she needs somebody who can actually do something.
No, like a woman who's that famous for being so sexy and always sexualized might be okay with not having that many sex in her life. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because she's always been, she got famous with porn, and then she's always been so sexualized. So she might be like, I don't need sex in my life.
I disagree. I think by the age she was in and just, who the types of guys she was dating like athletes and, other megastars and stuff like that. I don't think she would settle for the greatest rapper of all time, arguably to some people, but for a little peen and a guy who comes in two strokes. I can't see Kim doing that.
Has a little peen. He might have a normal peen, but he might not be like good at sex. Just
Okay, all right. But we read the article before the live stream, and it seems like his porn addiction began when his dad left a Playboy magazine, like on the toilet or something like that. And that's like such an American thing. Like the first time I saw a Playboy, I went to one of my friend's house, and his dad had all the Playboys rolled up in like a bag behind the toilet. And I saw one, and I was like, okay, this is why my friend is weird. You get what I'm saying? And
wow.
yeah, like it's so. I think he has struggled with pornography. Like there have been reports of him going into like business meetings and saying, "We need to make beautiful art like this," and he's showing porn on his phone to like the CEO and stuff like that. So I do think he has a problem with it, but it can't be that bad of a problem if he's become a billionaire 2 times. If he's made arguably some of the greatest rap albums of all time, is his porn addiction actually really a problem? If it is real.
I mean, I don't know. We don't know if he's been diagnosed really with
Mm.
porn addiction, but yeah, I mean, if you're porn addicted, I don't think it could be that much of a thing to interfere with your work and success. Like you can just go to the bathroom, watch porn and jerk off and come back like every hour, and
Mm.
no one would probably even realize it.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like people are gonna listen to this and be like, "Why are they talking about Kanye jerking off so much?" That's not where we're trying to go with this. But it is interesting. It's very interesting because there have been a few rappers who have tried to like dabble in the porn industry. Of course, Snoop, because Snoop will do anything for money. Like, so a porn company like paid Snoop to like produce a porn tape like in the '90s or something. Snoop didn't perform in it. He just put his name on it and gave his music and stuff like that. So
Okay.
like yeah. And then yeah, other rappers have tried to do this too, like Cameron and Dipset with Dip Sex. Like they started a porn website, I think. So yeah, other people have done it. But the thing about Kanye, he's such a visual artist. We just a part of me wants to see what he'll do just because his visuals are so crazy. But it's something I know I would never, never bust one to. I would never 3 a.m. get my rocks off to anything Kanye made, just for the fact knowing that he did it. Knowing that he did it will put a mental block on my mind that I cannot watch this because he's sick. He's he's a sick man. I cannot jerk off to the same thing he's doing it to. You get what I'm saying?
Wow. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I probably wouldn't be able to do that either. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit intrigued. Like I don't want to be intrigued or curious about it. Like you said, he's such a like yes, he's a crazy person and he's like he doesn't have morals or anything like that, but at the same time we cannot underestimate that he's also a good artist.
Yeah, he's a great
So
artist.
I'm curious about what he's going to do because he does do like, these weird new things and sometimes they work and it's great. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's gonna be great, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think this is the time for us to switch to the next topic because now we're getting this comment from Dr. Idiot. He says, I have to defecate in my wife's boyfriend's litter box. I do not have permission to use the restroom in my house. Well, I don't know where that is going, so I'm gonna leave that alone.
Not kink shaming, sir, but that's not the conversation we're having here.
Wild King,
But yeah,
Wild
not
King. Wild King. All right. So moving on. I would like to talk a bit about this Julia Fox piece from page 6, by the way. Julia Fox explains why dating Kanye West left such a sour taste in her mouth. Now I'm gonna keep it real with you. I kind of like Julia Fox, like not as in like I find her attractive or hot, but I just think she has a cool personality to some degree. Even though she cannot, yeah, the horrible dressing and she has no eyebrows. Bleaching your eyebrows is always the worst thing to do. If you're not a
Well,
natural ginger or whatever,
brows before Julia Fox, it was Kim.
before it all right. Nelson Moreno left a good comment. He said Kanye should make a movie like Love. I think that would actually be pretty cool.
Okay, like we go into the thoughts of Kanye and
Yeah.
like some depiction of his relationship with Kim and after. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. That would be interesting. That would be interesting to hear or see because he has made great movies in the past, like the Runaway movie. I don't know if you ever saw it. There's a movie for Runaway.
Mm-mm.
No, it's absolutely fabulous. It's beautiful. But yeah, Julia Fox continuing to talk about Kanye. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of it kind of feels like she's like milking the cow. You know what I mean? Like pushing, like getting everything she can from it. I'm sure there's a Turkish saying for that.
Kabak tadı verdi. This means like it tastes like zucchini because zucchini has a bad taste. Like it doesn't.
Uh, it doesn't have a bad taste. Okay.
But
All right.
I mean, I don't like necessarily love her, but I
Mhm.
appreciate that she made a name for herself after, especially after Kanye. Like she's been out there making
Mhm.
headlines like with her fashion stuff like that. So I would applaud her for that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever feel like, as a woman, like, women get overshadowed in their relationships, especially if they're with powerful men, and like some women should just accept that and they shouldn't complain about it? Because there's some degree it feels like her saying dating Kanye left a sour taste in her mouth because of the lifestyle he was living and also the way he acted because of fame. It's like you sort of kind of knew what you were signing up for. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing is like I don't like her doing this sort of interview because I don't like kiss and tell.
Hmm.
Yeah, like if you're going into that, then you shouldn't be complaining about it after a year later, you know?
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
so that's bad, but I do like understand some points that she made, but it just feels bad that she's talking about it now, you know?
Yeah, yeah, to some degree, to some degree. But since Kanye left her, the style has gone off the rails. Like, look at the before and after. And hold on, wait, that's her and Kim. But this is actually a cool fit. I like this fit. I do not like the wild mascara on the eyes, but the fits are cool. Kanye actually had her in style. But this new ish she's doing with the bleached eyebrows, that's not it. That is not the look.
I mean, it's a fashion like shot, so it's not really like her wearing doing this outside, but it's more like for the photo shoot. So
Yeah, yeah, but the photos are also a part of your image. You get what I'm saying?
I guess I don't like. I just really don't like how Kanye is styling the other girl that he married.
Oh, Bianca.
Yeah, so I can't say that those times were solely Kanye because Bianca horrible.
Yeah. Well, Bianca is just naked. If you don't like her naked, then you don't like her.
No, not her. It's her outfits.
What outfits? She's wearing a napkin and a pillow.
Wow. Exactly. Uh,
All right. Nelson asked a good question. He said, "Why do women always find themselves with narcissists?" But now the question is, actually, do you think I'm a narcissist?
no.
Be honest. You could be honest. I've never asked you this question before.
I am being honest. I mean, I don't think you're a narcissist, but I just think sometimes you have a different point of view because we come from two opposite cultures. You
Hmm.
come from an individualistic culture, and I come from a collectivistic culture.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
sometimes I feel like that makes you think, like, you know, about yourself only. But I can understand that's like a style of life and not really you being narcissistic. So.
Okay. Okay. But why do you think? Do you think that's a generalization, or do you think that's somewhat true? I think some women do find themselves with narcissists, especially if those women are going for highly successful men, because you have to be somewhat narcissistic to be at the top levels of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you kind of, I mean, if we're looking at Hollywood, probably most people are narcissistic because that's kind of how you get to the top a little bit.
Hmm. Hmm.
Have to be a bit narcissistic. First of all, you have like all these people lusting after you, right? Or
Hmm.
saying that you're talented and stuff like that. And you also have to have delusion a little bit to ignore the haters. So
Hmm. Hmm.
even if you're not a narcissistic person, I feel like once you go into the industry and have enough fame, you become narcissistic.
I don't think so all the time. I don't think so all the time because J. Cole is really setting the example. And the more this Drake Kendrick beef goes on, the more J. Cole's starting to look like he had the right intentions. It just hurt at the beginning seeing somebody, step away from beef. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Now we like J. Cole and he's not pussy anymore.
No, he's still pussy, but being pussy is okay because everybody loves pussy.
Exactly.
But Nelson Moreno says that Bianca chick probably racist. She looks racist. What do you think? What do you think about Bianca and the whole thing with Kanye? I feel like she's just waiting for that moment to write that tell-all book. It seems so plastic, it does not seem real. It feels like it's basically all tell-all, like ready.
She's gonna come out and do a movie or a book or something like that. Probably. I mean, honestly, like, I don't want to really like go hard on woman here, but I do feel like she's somewhat using him for her image,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, I don't know how, because Kanye has a horrible image. So I don't know how being associated with a, anti-Semitic Nazi person
Mm-hmm.
who's opening up a porn website, how would that help your career? But it gets the people talking, so
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what she's doing.
Uh, Let's
I
go to the
relationship, so
I mean, the relationship is basically Kanye dresses up like, an evil villain from a 70s cartoon, and then she's naked. That's it. That's
it,
it, really.
it feels like she's his project, like many
Mm,
of his girlfriends also, like with Julia Fox, it felt like that as well. Even
yeah.
sometimes it felt like that because she was always like dressing up according to him and all of those things, but Kim was much more of a, popular superstar, and she was a personality on her own before Kanye, so it didn't really get her down like that, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Arnella B jumped into the comments. You want to read those? Or are you too lit right now?
No, I am with the high profile man, will not mention his name, but he's not a narcissist. He's the sweetest man I've ever met in my life, and he's older than me, 17 years, and treats me. I think Bianca, okay, first let me answer the first comment.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, we ship like older men, of course. Me and my husband. We have some age gap too, but I really kind of dislike the men my age because I cannot seem to get along with them. So, I mean, if that's the case, like, you're one of the lucky ones, I guess. And I wish you all the best with your partner.
Do you think narcissism might be subjective? Because, like, maybe she's with the guy, and I'm not trying to project onto your relationship, Arnella, but maybe she tolerates some things, maybe about him, that another woman would say, "Oh, you're so narcissistic for that." You get what I'm saying? Like, a woman might find it narcissistic that you, I don't know, take care of your skin or get pedicures, right? Or do something like, or you get what I'm saying? Or is it not subjective? Is there really objective types of narcissism?
I mean, I think it is kind of objective, but I feel like the part where it gets subjective is how willing are you to like live that type of lifestyle, or how
Hmm.
compatible are you with that person? Because I do believe like there are people who would go well with narcissistic people.
Yeah.
So yeah, like maybe you like that, or maybe you're a narcissist too. I'm not saying that about Arnella, by the way. I just want to be clear, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying there's everyone for another person. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes those
Mhm.
end up together and they complete the puzzle pieces. So I don't think like in that way maybe it's subjective.
I mean, yeah, looking on the outside, on the outside looking in, Jay Z is a narcissist. Like, Trust me, like listening to his lyrics, watching him develop, that's a narcissist. Now, the question is, why would Beyonce choose him? Is it because she's a narcissist too? Is it really because he got a big ego? Is it just the money? Is it because they're the only people who match each other in status? I don't know. You get what I'm saying? But Jay-Z is definitely a narcissist, so who's going to accept that? Maybe
Yeah.
Beyonce's a narcissist too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big chance that she might be, or she might have those tendencies because she's such a huge star. And like I said, she's getting praise all day.
Mm,
So, yeah, like there has to be some sort of, you know, something in you to deal with that. And if that works out, like that's great. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But
yeah.
I'm like, we're not saying, of course, not every successful man has to be a narcissist. Like, that's not true either.
I disagree. I disagree. I think you have to be to some degree to make it there.
Have Arnella, and she says that her man is not a narcissist.
Okay. All right. Well, that's her. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anybody successful, and I'm barely successful. So hey.
I, like, you think Bob Marley was a narcissist?
Oh hell yeah, dude. What? Bob Marley was super
Just
narcissistic.
because he was sleeping with a lot of women doesn't make him a
The
narcissist.
man, the man, them had no empathy. Cared for none. Cared for none. Loved none. Bust nuts and all and create sons.
Ew. Okay.
Man was a sick narcissist. But the way he treated Rita, you don't think that's narcissistic? The way he would just basically like throw women in her face, throw children at her doorstep, and then say, "Rita, you should be proud that you are Marley." That's not narcissistic.
Being like a psychological, like studying psychology masters, you need to fill in a lot of boxes to be identified as a narcissist. So, no.
I would just say that anybody who acted like that definitely thinks that they have something that makes them greater than other people, right? The idea that you could have children with some other woman and then give those children to another woman and then expect her to be grateful that you did that. Ain't that narcissistic? That's like textbook.
Um, I don't know. I don't know because at the other end you have like funny money and fame and all of those things. So that could be the effect of that as well. Plus his religion also. So I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Uh,
Anyway, Nelson Moreno says she's like his doll, a narcissistic extension, talking about Bianca. Arnella B, you'll read the Arnella comments. I'll read the Nelson comments.
okay,
Uh,
he said, sorry, you wanna
yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I get it. Yes, there are three different types of narcissistic, and you're correct when it comes about older men. Jay Z and Beyonce sold their souls to devils. Yeah, I gave mine a mental health assessment. It's good the mental health assessments. I did, but it
Wait,
ended up.
you did one on me?
No, I said I didn't.
Okay, you did it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty fine. I think I'm pretty straight. I'll pass any test.
Okay. Um. Let's. Yeah, but I don't know about. I don't believe in like the devil and all that stuff. So.
Yeah. But going back to her previous comment, she said, I think Bianca is using him to get to where she needs to be. And I see divorce soon, like a year or two plus. She's in her yeah, like
Yeah,
that's so, it's written on the wall.
there's definitely going to be a divorce.
Yeah, yeah. And she's going to write that tell all, Surviving West, Surviving Mr. West.
Yeah.
He's going to sit down with, I don't know, Piers Morgan. So tell us,
It's gonna
let me get dressed. And he said, you are dressed.
it's gonna be like how it happened with Diddy, but it's gonna be like nothing related to sex. And it's all gonna be
Mm,
like he sat me down for hours and told me how bad the Nazis were. Sorry, how good the Nazis were and how bad the Jewish
yeah,
people were and how
yeah, yeah.
slavery was a choice.
Yeah, yeah, just all horrible things. I mean, this man is not well. He's not well. Not
Imagine like
well.
being married to Kanye and you
Yeah.
have to listen to his thoughts every day. That's a burden.
Nelson says surviving Kanye going east. All right, all right. Before we get into like the real heavy like political stuff, because this is going to be interesting. I wanted to talk about this other story about this woman, Jeannie Mae. Jeannie Mae claims 2-year-old daughter found a strange husband JEEZY's assault rifle unsecured at home. And these pictures are going viral of JEEZY, very famous rapper, his ex-wife, Jeannie Mae, who is like a celebrity talk show host. They have a daughter together. But these videos, these pictures are going viral of JEEZY with the AR-15 left on the bedroom floor. And hold on, wait. Oh, where's the other picture? All right, I think I need to turn on the Wi-Fi to see it because I turned off the Wi-Fi to make sure that the thing goes. But there's pictures of JEEZY walking around the house with his like semi-automatic rifle, like he's in waiting for Rambo to bust through the door. It's absolutely insane. Did you see the pictures?
Yeah. But also, I need to turn on the Wi-Fi to see it. But you do it then.
Yeah. I did it. I did it. All right. See now the connection stopped.
No,
Oh
no. Wait.
yeah.
It, walking around the house, like I saw one, like the
Yeah.
one she
Here.
took. There's that one. Why, like, why would you be like that in your own house?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But it's actually all right. It's not crazy. I have to take a step back and go back to my American mindset. That's not crazy. To a lot of people, that is normal. That's normal. Like that is what you could do. Hey, it's America. Why not walk around your big ass mansion that you bought rapping about cocaine and drugs all for the last 20 years and, carry your AR-15? Like somebody's really going to kill you.
I mean, first of all, like this person is a celebrity. He's famous and he probably has some security like in front of his door. So why would you do that? Once again, even
Mhm.
from an American mindset, it doesn't make sense.
Uh, yeah, even from the American mindset, it doesn't make sense unless you're married to the number one trapper of the year, the biggest gangster rapper of all time. I mean, nobody's more gangster, like as far as their
So
aesthetic and image than Jeezy.
you're in the house. Like what like shooters gonna pass by your security guard, go through your gate, and then like come to your door?
I'm just saying, you always got to keep it tucked. You got to keep it ready, right next to the bed.
Why are you saying this? You're not pro guns.
I'm not pro guns, but I'm just thinking like the average American man. And the thing is, the gun is your extension of your penis. And so nothing feels better to the average American man than having a long black metal rod right there, always hard next to your bed. This is what the average American thinks. Like, I need this for my life. It is my freedom and it's my God given right. It's my duty to have this thing next to me, this hard black rod. You get what I'm saying?
Wow. No, I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't want to get it because it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's also real. But I have to ask you. I wanted to bring this up because it's interesting to talk about gun ownership with you, but also in the context of a relationship. If I let's say I snap my fingers and I'm 24-year-old Simon again, right? And I do have my AK-47 because I used to have a gun like this in the house, right? When I used to own weapons, would you feel comfortable with me having in this house? And I felt like it was important for our safety, especially if we were living in America, and I still had that American mindset where the gun is necessary for me to be a man, to be safe, for me to protect the family, all that sort of stuff. How would you feel, if I really did want to sleep with this thing right next to me?
No, I cannot have that in the house. No.
Mm.
I'm not having it. I mean, we have an possibly we might go to the States, like I don't know, 5, 10 years from now or whatever. We might go live there, or all those things. And I really am having like anxiety about going to the States. Really, like I'm having nightmares and stuff about mass shootings and all those things. But even though all of my anxiety, I cannot have a gun inside the house. I will always be paranoid. I will always be anxious, like in my own house. And that's something that I'm completely not used to. So I wouldn't want that.
Mm. Okay, all right. So you wouldn't want that, but what if I? Huh? What did you say?
If there's a kid in the house, that would even make me more paranoid.
She don't know. She don't know.
No,
She just happened to walk by the bag, and she don't know that the AK is in there. Come on now.
no, like you could have a bat or something, but you can have a taser, something like locked up in a place, but no guns.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing fatal in my house except
Nothing.
for the kitchen.
Okay. Now, what if the thing that's different, about the US is like people believe we need these guns in case of home invasion, right? Somebody could break in and they will definitely have guns if they break into our house. So I'm telling you, Acty, like we need to protect ourselves because people could break in at any moment and they got the strap. Don't you want your husband to have the strap to protect you, to protect our kids, to protect our dog, to protect the cat, whatever? You get what I'm saying?
No. Like it's like saying, okay, I might have a heart attack, so I should stop drinking wine.
Okay.
So
Well, you
like,
probably
okay,
should.
like the possibility is not that common, so I should like, do it just in case. But the thing is like that gun is so fatal that it could cause anything. Like it could cause anything. And
Hmm.
I cannot like trust the gun or whatever, especially from all the stories I've seen in America, in Turkey, people like fighting and shooting each other and all those sort of things, or you know shooting another person even though it's self-defense. That's like something so unimaginable for me. I would rather move the country, like move away from the country, than have a gun in my house.
I'm just saying, like, I'll teach you how to use it. We can shoot it on the weekends. It'll be great. It's our buddy. You can even give it a cute name. You can paint it if you want. I'm just saying, actually, we need it for the house. We need guns to protect ourselves. Who's going to protect us in the most richest, powerful nation in the world where we have police everywhere? Who's going to protect us, actually, but me? You need your man to have a gun. Because if I don't have a gun, people could come in here and rape you. People could come in here and kill our kids. People could come in here and decapitate your husband. You need a gun in America, Acting. Don't you understand? Why aren't you getting
I,
this?
I'm going to Cuba. Fuck them.
All right, all right. Let's look here. Matt Villainy jumped in. He said, "Evening, family." Shout out to Matt Villainy, big dog. Go check out the movie review we did with Matt Villainy for Gattaca. It's up on the channel now. Kieri said, "Where are y'all from, guys? Can't you tell? I'm from Russia. She's from Nigeria. So obvious." Arnella B, you want to read the Arnella B comment?
Yeah, you can have a bleach or a rock and smash their faces, haha, or a glass of bottle. This is what I carry, haha, and knives. Spray them with bleach. Oh my god.
That's a lot.
Boy, too much. We don't need imagination.
That's a wild combination. So the intruder came in and splashed him with bleach, hit him with the rock.
That's crazy like plan, but it's
Yeah.
better than the gun. So thank you. Thank you for the alternatives. I will consider them and not have the gun.
I'm
Exactly.
just
I will protect you.
I'm just saying. I want my other men in here. Where are the Americans at? If you're an American, you have to convince my wife all the reasons we need guns in America. Because if we don't have guns in America, there will be rampant crime. There will be shootings all the time. There will be people walking into schools and slaughtering people. Somebody would walk into a church if we didn't have guns in America to protect us from the people who would kill everybody in the church. You get
So
what I'm saying? We would
what
have presidents be assassinated if we didn't have guns in America. We need guns to protect us. Why aren't y'all getting it? And I'm so frustrated that my wife is not getting it right now because the way Jeezy's ex-wife is painting him is making him seem like a bad person when honestly all he is a good American. You feel me?
oh god, no. Like it's like if you get a gun, okay, so you're saying like if you don't get a gun, you have the possibility of a house, break in or whatever and someone killing you and your family. But then if you do have a gun, then you have the possibility of getting in a heated argument and shooting at your wife, or your wife shooting you, your baby accidentally taking the gun and hurting herself. So like then it's like the intruder possibility is more important to you than your baby accidentally killing herself. So
Listen,
you're choosing to, like, it's okay if my baby accidentally kills herself, but I cannot have a gunned intruder in my house.
no, 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 actor, you're missing. Arnella V is going off. All right, Matt, I'm going to the comments real quick. Guns for show, knives for a pro. Arnella V says she's right. Oh, Matt Villainy says, or set booby traps like Home Alone. Oh, this is hilarious. Arnella said, "You're acting. You're correct." That's what she's saying. She's got you. I don't get it, man.
Thank
Y'all,
you. Thank you.
no, y'all not getting it. But
Always guys here, so I'm so happy to have a lady on my side.
no, listen, listen. When Jeezy was married to Jeannie, and they were happy and they were in love, all
Wait,
Jeezy was thinking about, all he was thinking about, I want to protect my wife. I want to protect our beautiful baby. I want to protect this home. And what you're saying, Acti, is that Jeezy did not prepare. He didn't go shooting every weekend. He didn't spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on bullets, on gun range admission, on all sorts of ammo and different weapons. He didn't spend all that money to be prepared for the one time somebody might break into the home and he will have that perfect shot to kill him. That's what you're saying, Acti. Of course, Jeezy did that. That's what every American man should do. You should always train with your guns, spend your whole paycheck on your guns to make sure nobody can come in and fuck your wife. Nobody's fucking my wife except me.
wow. Okay. Well, so his wife and also pushed her from the stairs in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in 2022 and called her a fucking bitch and then also told her he could do so much better than her. Is that also American tradition?
Listen, none of that actually matters. Because just like in Texas, just like in Oklahoma, where they have true freedom, you should be able to smack your wife and have a gun. This is the American way. The a way to be a true American is, yes, you can call your wife a B. You can threaten to kill her, and you should be able to still have your gun because everybody has fights. Everybody has arguments. You know, back in the good old days when America was great, it was a good time when, you could smack your wife, the police would come and they would say, "Hey, y'all chill. Y'all chill. Y'all just relax." And then you go home and, everything goes back to normal. Those were the good old times of America. So yes, yes, he did. He might have done that, but he still loves his wife. And so having a gun is just necessary for Jeezy and for
Okay.
every American man.
I'm about to go into the living room and slap you in a second, so I want normal Simon back. What do you really think about this story?
I'm telling you what I honestly think. I'm telling you what I'm putting my American mind on. This is American Simon talking to the world right now.
No, stop. Don't put your American mind on. I love
I'm,
Simon so much more.
no, I'm thinking like a true patriot. Just like in Louisiana, just like in Mississippi, in Texas, in Oklahoma, you can smack your wife. You can even kill somebody and still get your hands on a gun as long as you got self-defense. Hell, you could
I mean,
you could have sex with your daughter. You could have sex with your daughter in Texas. Get
that's gross. And also, I feel like okay, I know like rappers are gangsta or whatever, all that sort of stuff, and gang bang? No, not gang. Was it gang banging? Okay. Right. Like gangsters are like yeah, like they're associated with I don't not gangsters, sorry. Rappers, they're associated with like violence and being gangster and drugs and alcohol and guns and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like rappers should be the first people who should not defend guns because guns took away your favorite artist. Guns took put your favorite artist in jail because they shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. You know, you lost like Biggie because of that, and so many feuds that ended up like in so sad stories. So I feel like rappers should be the first people who should like say no to guns. No,
No, because Biggie would still be alive if he had a gun.
no,
Tupac would still be alive if he had a gun.
no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
No, no, no,
What
no.
do you mean?
But
No, he probably had a gun. Let's be honest. Biggie had a gun.
okay. All right. And Nella B saying, once again, you're killing me right now. I'm really trying to win on behalf of guns. Nobody is helping me. Mad Villainies from America. You're not helping me, bro. You help me convince my wife that guns are good, that we need guns to protect our family. Somebody help me. Come on, man. Come
I
on.
mean,
Where are all the red-blooded patriots out here?
Nelson Moreno said Yeezy has a hidden gun in his butthole. And then he said he just wanted to push her forward in her career.
Oh man, oh man, they took our favorite artist because one of them shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. That has to be top 10 acting quotes of all time. That's up there.
Like, everybody should be like, I feel like J. Cole is going to be the next no guns policy protester. I feel like he could join me on this. Let's go, J. Cole.
Nah, J. Cole ain't with it.
Like, no to feuds, no to guns. And I mean, you can have feuds, peaceful feuds, and all of those things. But yeah, like rap and Black people lost the most when it comes to guns. Like, you are the guys who lost the most because it affects you, because it affects like the outcasts, the underdogs, and everyone like that. So you should be the ones who defend no guns.
No, but on behalf of all Black people need guns because we're waiting for that day, that mythical day when we are gonna get ready to shoot all the police who shot us in the back. We're waiting for that one day when we're gonna go run up in the Capitol and execute all those senators who want to prevent our children from learning about slavery or who want to continue to lock up young Black men in jail for trivial crimes. We're waiting for that day. So yes, Black people do need guns because I swear to you, one day we're really gonna arm up and defend ourselves from this tyrannical government that's been fucking with us for the past 400 years. One day we're gonna do it. So yeah, one day I'm telling you, actually, we need guns. Black men like Jeezy need guns. I need a gun to protect you, to protect what I have. Actually,
Yeah, because the justice system is so already for Black people, so let's just kill police officers and kill other people and kill white people, and I'm sure the justice system will be there for you and you won't go to jail, and it would be a self-defense, sure.
who just want to have the Second Amendment right to defend themselves from a tyrannical government. So the judges will say, "Oh yes, Black men, you defended yourselves from the police who are shooting your sons in the forehead and pulling you over and beating you with batons. So yeah, they're going to protect us. Those Trump appointed judges, those Republican conservative judges, they're going to protect us and our Second Amendment rights as we fight against a tyrannical government."
Right. The guy who hates Mexicans will not hate Black people, sure.
Nobody is helping me.
Matt,
One talking point out there.
Matt Villainy said, yes, you need the click clack.
You need that click clack. Exactly. If we don't have the strap, if we don't have the strap, how are we going to defend ourselves from guys like George Zimmerman, who saw a young Black teen walking from the store with iced tea and Skittles? Somebody eventually killed George Zimmerman, right? Right? George Zimmerman ain't alive, right? I know a Black person with a gun out there killed George Zimmerman, right? No? No? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This, please come back also.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is this making you uncomfortable?
I just really hate gun lovers, so you being one of them, even if it's just for like, this fake stuff, it's bothering me.
All right.
But
Actually, I can.
what do you think about this whole story about Jeezy and his ex-wife?
I do feel like no, honestly, she's trying to like paint him in a bad light because they divorced and he had a prenup and he is not paying her any alimony. He might have to pay child support, of course, but it's not like he's going to be paying like a ton of money to her specifically because they divorced. So I feel like to some degree he is like she's like throwing everything against the wall. Like Jeezy's abusive and he's a gangster and he keeps guns in the house near babies and stuff like that. And because he is a Black man in America, The judge is going to see, oh, this gangster rapper keeps guns just lying on the floor at his house. Yeah, no visitation rights for you. You have to pay your ex-wife a ton of money. You put her in danger, all sorts of stuff. That's what I feel like. What do you think?
I'm a done blaming woman, honestly, because she has her own career. She's not just his wife. She's a show host or whatever. Extremely weird cases. It's not. We're not talking about Diddy here. It's like having a gun in the house and also abuse. So it's pretty common in any marriage relationship. So I'm really done like making excuses for people and especially for men. I believe her. Yep.
Trying to upkeep a lifestyle, upkeep that her famous, rich baby daddy is leaving, and he's not paying her any alimony. You don't think that a woman like that would have no reason to lie?
She already has the Instagram followers and her job as a host. So why
Oh,
would she need his more money? It's not like he is like Jay-Z or Kanye or whatever. Okay, maybe he's somewhat famous, but I don't think that's the reason why women are doing this now, because let's be honest, not every woman is a gold digger. Not every woman will sell their soul for money. So I am so done believing like men who are abusive, who carry guns around the house. It's so easy. He makes it so easy because if you're walking around in the house like that, it's easy for me to believe that you can be abusive, really. Because for me, that's a psycho level.
it's not psycho though. That's the problem though. This different mentality. See, you have a you have an individualistic, mentality. Acting. You're worried about your own personal safety, but Americans, because we carry guns, we worry about everybody's safety. Jeezy, as he's walking around this house with his weapon, is thinking about, I can't wait to shoot somebody to protect my baby, protect my Asian baby mama, protect this mansion I wrapped and trapped hard for all my life. He is thinking with a collectivist mindset. It's different cultures, different cultures.
No, it's not. It's not. I, no, okay, I'm done. I'm really like, and really am. So, yeah, fuck
All right.
abusive, fuck easy here. I can say
Oh
that.
wow.
Uh,
Okay, okay. I'm
now,
sorry I pissed you off, acting.
no, it's not you. It's men in general. But Nelson Marano said, okay, guns in the floor is crazy careless. Yes, it is. And that's not protecting your family. That's basically giving an invitation to your 2-year-old baby to play with a gun. And he also said, I always side with women unless they're white or Asian or Arab. Well, I'm a mixture of all of them. I'm a white looking and partially Asian and have like Arab in my culture. So yeah, you probably won't believe me, but I side with Jeannie A. Thanks.
All right. Shall we get off of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's got the. All right. Well, it's about to get crazy. It's about to get real. All right. So at first, before we started this live stream, and we're about to cut this short. Maybe we'll be on for like another 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so. I don't know. We'll depend on how the conversation goes. But I wanted to do something intellectual, but then a part of me wanted to get a bit ratchet, which is why we talked about the celebrity stories. But the biggest story happening in the U.S. right now is this, of course, the protests on college campuses. And we're going to be reading from this article from the NYT, why Gaza protests on U.S. college campuses have become so contagious. Experts say the partisan political context in Washington is the driver behind the spread of protests at American universities, even as overseas campuses have stayed relatively calm. So yeah, they're turning up on these U.S. campuses everywhere. Kids are sleeping on the quad trying to protest for Palestine. How do you feel about all of this like happening right now?
I mean, I do support Palestine, so I feel happy about it. I do think it's unfair that people are like losing their jobs and stuff like that over, you know, defending some. defending like anti-genocide basically. And yeah, like that's the sad part of it. But
Hmm.
I really like congratulate Americans, because I told you this when we read it originally, but I think now US wants to be on the right side of the history for once, because US has been involved in so many foreign politics, and most of the time on the wrong side, like bombing people and causing wars and stuff like that. So I feel like the new generation wants to be on the right side of the history.
Right, right, right. So shout out to Dita Gioni. He said, "Hello, it's me birthday." So happy birthday to you, Dita, whoever you are out there in the
Or
world. Okay. Nelson Moreno left a wild comment. He said, "I would die for a racist, batty Palestinian being." I think Nelson has like a fetish for like just bad looking white women who are also racist, which is deep. That's just deep in
yeah,
and of itself.
I I would understand the baddie Palestinian, but what does it have to be racist? Oh,
This, and you might disagree with, should not be on these college campuses testing for the Palestinians, period. Because right now there are a ton of black kids who are going to Ivy League schools like Columbia, like Stanford, like Brown, whatever, Harvard. And if they're getting caught up in these protests, getting arrested and getting kicked out and missing the opportunity for us to advance as a people, then I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I left a post about this. I'm thinking like you don't deserve that degree if you're willing to throw it away for a bunch of people who would still call you Zenchi, Zanj, Abid, whatever, if you happen to step foot in Gaza or the West Bank. It's not worth it, in my opinion. What do you think?
I know that you think it's not worth it because you have traveled so many places around the world, and you've seen like how like cruel people can be towards, you and black people in general. But at the same time, I honestly think like, especially if you're a black person who's doing this, like you're risking a lot of things really, because if you're a white person doing this, you're not really risking that much. Let's say if you're protesting or something like that, it's a different like scale for black protesters and white protesters. And
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it is like honorable to do this. And at the same time, I can see why black people are standing up for Palestine, because they understand what being oppressed is about. And even though there might be like racist people in Palestine, they just prefer to look on the bright side of things and decide to support them. And I don't know if this is going to go to waste, if the protest is going to go to waste, if one day there will be a time where black people in America will depend on Palestinians and they would turn their backs on them or whatever. There probably won't be that sort of day, but I don't know. I admire the positivism of it, like the positivity of it, and the support of it. Honestly, I
Mm-hmm.
know you feel like critical about it, but I just admire it. That's it.
I got you. I got you. Dita says, "I love you guys. We love you too, Dita, whoever you are." And yeah, I just got to keep it real with you. Like during the Black Lives Matter protests, they were
Simon, can you off? Yeah, you were cutting off, but okay. I mean, I heard that you said there were like also Black Lives Matter protests in the Arab world, in Tunisia and different places. And when that happened, Arabs were like not really, positive about the whole situation.
Asia, or go back to your countries, or y'all don't belong here anyway, or stay in the South, stay in whatever ghettoized part of our country that we have for Black people that just so happens to be the poorest, that has the least education and that sort of stuff. Same thing in Palestine as well. A ton of Black people in Gaza, and I knew one, and you know who exactly who I'm talking about too, as well. And yeah, ton of Black people in Gaza in the West Bank living in an area called the Slave, called the Abid, called the Zanj. Like, what are we really fighting for? Like, there's one thing to say, like, we can still care about the humanity of all people, but when they have demonstrated that they don't care about our humanity with the people that are closest in proximity to them, they have Black people that live in Gaza, they have Black people that live in the West Bank, and all of the stories of those people are just about how they've consistently been mistreated and dealt a bad hand throughout their lives. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it to stand up for a bunch of people who think all Black women are prostitutes. The first time they see a Black woman, they say, "Oh, Rihanna, come sleep with me." Are we really going to be outside protesting for those people? Are we going to people? And we should be out here losing our opportunities for them.
I mean, I said, I understand your frustration, and that's why there's no really like right answer to look at this. And just like white people who like in inside of white people, we have people who support Palestine and people who don't support Palestine, right? Or people who don't give a fuck, or people who are not who are supporting Israel, whatever. And I feel like there's probably like the same sort of divide between black people. Like some people support, Palestine, and some support Israel, and some don't give a fuck. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you should like project this like into all black people, because they might not all think the same way about Palestine. But yeah, like I don't know. It's hard for, when it comes to black people, especially those who are protesting, it's hard to not make it political, because once again, like being black is political. So whenever you say something about other nations or other people who are being oppressed, then it has a really big meaning.
Mm-hmm.
But I also understand, like, I cannot say the things you are saying are wrong. You know what I mean? I cannot say
Right.
that happened or that didn't happen, because they did. But at least we have to believe that there are some, good people in those countries. Because if you think about it, I'm thinking about Turkey, right? And
Mm-hmm.
was like Black Lives Matter in Turkey, because we have a mostly like right wing people in our country who support Erdogan. We would probably get like a very bad backlash. But
Mm-hmm.
then, like, all the people I know and I love are not like that. They're leftists, and they are not like trying to discriminate against people. So, like, it's different from the majority and then like the people I know.
I got you. I'm just saying, like, why is it always expected on us as Black people to be like, yeah, let's put all the disrespect that your group gives us to the side and still fight for y'all? We don't ask the same thing for them. You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing. That's the only thing that bothers me, because no other group of people is expected. Yeah, go out and march for the Palestinians, go out and march for whoever group. But then when it's time to march for us, they're like, oh no, no, we have nothing to do with that. None of that is our concern. But where it's a problem if we decide that, the anti-blackness is not acceptable to us. And this is the thing. You're saying, like, some Black people might agree with this or disagree with the idea of not protesting for Palestine. But the thing is, a lot of black people don't even know about the anti-blackness in the Arab world. For real, I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't know about the anti-blackness in the Turkish world until I actually went to Turkey. I didn't know that much about the anti-blackness in the Arab world until I went to Tunisia and other places as well. So
Yeah.
the thing is, because of Islam, especially because of Islam, because Islam propagates this idea that the Prophet came and abolished racism amongst the Muslims. 1,400 years ago, the Prophet Muhammad gave one speech, and since then, all the Arabs have loved black people. And then they sort of skip over the part where they kidnapped us for 700 years and cut off our dicks and sent us to every country that is known in the Arab world, and also to Turkey, and also to the Balkans as well. So this is the thing, man. If black people, especially in the West, really knew how the Arabs were about us and people that look like us that live in those countries, we wouldn't give a fuck about Palestine. And that's why I don't right now. I only talk about the genocide because it obviously is a genocide. But what has happened to us in those lands was a genocide before Israel was even created, before the whole conflict started. You get what I'm saying? That's my
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I appreciate, like, what those Black Americans are doing in the protests and all of those things, I don't want to be like that person who says, like, oh, Black people should support all the other, like, people who are being oppressed around the world because they are, also oppressed, etc. And it's like, you don't, that's why I appreciate it, because you don't have to care about it, because you got your all own problems, and like you said, you don't know if those people are going to support you if you need them ever, really. So like, it's a thing that you do, and you go out of your way to help and support those people, and that's why I appreciate it, because it's not something that I expect of Black people, and that's why I
Mhm.
really don't have anything, opposite to say about how you feel about Gaza, because I can understand where you're coming from, and it is true. Like, I didn't know about, like, anti-blackness in Turkey, because every time you talk to people, everyone says, I'm not a racist. But then, like, I come there with my husband, who's a Black American, and they would ask you, where are you really from?
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Right, right. No, I got you. I trust. Where a total Arab ethnic group are slaughtering, literally slaughtering people who are a black ethnic group just for being black and just for not being Arab. Literally happening right now in Sudan in 2024, and it's been happening since 2022. But the world doesn't
Yeah.
care about that. World don't care about that. Supreme Architect said the lady speaking looks like Sade. So somebody say you look like Sade.
I'm flattered because she's hot, hot, hot.
We love Sade. We love Sade.
Yeah.
But I have a question, Acti. Would you like to be black in the Arab world? If your life was over again, would you like to be black in the Arab or Turkish world?
No, because it's hard to be a Black person in those worlds. It's very hard because you're, like, very obviously the minority, at least in Turkey. Like, talking about Turkey, there aren't a lot of, like, Black people. And today I was, like, at the gym, and I saw the screen, and there was a Turkish boxing match playing on the screen. And one of the Turkish ladies who were boxing was Black, and I was shocked, because I'm like, okay, I didn't know there was, like, a Black person who's in the, like, do boxing or something, like some fighting. And like, she had a total Turkish name and all of those things. It's very, like, passive aggressive, like, racism there as well, and sometimes blatant even.
Right.
So no, I wouldn't want to be a Black person in those spaces.
Right, right, right. And that's the thing. Somebody might listen to this later and say, wait, Acti, you said there's racism in Turkey, but they have a black woman competing on behalf of Turkey in the Olympics. How is that racist? And no, it doesn't even cross their mind that this black person might have wanted to become a doctor, lawyer, engineer. But because in a lot of these countries, they think, oh, you're black, you better do sports. You better do something else because having those other opportunities aren't there for you. Now, who knows? She might have wanted to become a boxer or something like that. But it's not a coincidence that the majority of the NFL, the NBA, and so many other sports are made up of Black people is because they want us to push us in those fields, and we don't have opportunities in other fields because of systemic
Also,
racism.
yeah, and also it doesn't really matter like how successful they are if they won like a, if I don't know if she won like a gold medal or something, but she would probably still get discriminated when she's out there on the street.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like it doesn't really matter if Turkey has a black person on their team or something, because once you're out on the street and you don't know anything about them, we still stereotype black people. Like
Right.
even if it's not racism, there's a lot of like stereotyping in Turkey. I would
Mm-hmm.
say positive and negative.
Right, right, right. And this is the thing. I might even disagree with you on the fact that she will face discrimination. She might not face discrimination because what is discriminatory in the real world for black people who have like been fighting for our liberation in the Arab world is normal. She'll say, no, no, no. If I bet if you met her and talked in Turkish and said, have you ever faced any discrimination or racism? She might say, higher, higher, higher. And then if you start going down what happened in her life, yeah, been called Zenchi while in school by teachers, been assumed that I was a foreigner, been assumed that I'm a criminal, been followed around in stores, all sorts of stuff. People thinking I'm a prostitute because I'm a black woman here and stuff like that. Now I don't know about her color or how dark she is, but of course, like those sorts of things will be associated. But in the Arab world, that's sort of normal. Black people getting called slaves, that's normal. Black people living in the ghetto, that's normal. Black people being ghettoized to an entire country, that's normal. Black people cleaning the piss off a toilet as the highest career you could have, that's normal. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, because I mean, she was stereotypically black. Like you can tell she's black. She's not a light-skinned woman,
Mm-hmm.
but she's also Turkish. Like she has a Turkish surname, she has a Turkish name. So of course what you say matters, because she grew up in a Turkish society where racism is sort of normalized, because
Mm-hmm.
we don't see that many black people, or at least most Turkish people don't experience that many, conversation with black people. So when we see them or have conversations with them, it's like it's okay to be, discriminatory because we don't know. But it's not
Mm-hmm.
like that. And she grew up in that society, probably constantly having to explain herself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So at some point, it has to be normal for her. It's like a survival mechanism, or almost.
Right, right. I didn't mean to derail the conversation to talk about, anti-blackness in the Orient, but it is a big motivating thing for me because what I experienced in the Arab world, really motivated me to start this channel. If you didn't know that, I was living in Tunisia, dealt with a whole bunch of stuff while there, and that's what motivated me to turn on the camera and start speaking about my experience and stuff like that. And yeah, that's one of the big reasons why my stance on Gaza is so strident. Gaza is a genocide. Gaza is something that the whole world should be worried about, but it ain't our concern as Black people. It could be everybody else's concern, but it ain't ours because we're past that point about worrying about other people's issues. The only people we should be worried about in Gaza are the Afro-Palestinians and the people in the West Bank and Gaza who look like us, who have for years been treated like second-class citizens there to their face in a level that in any other context we would find discriminatory as a people. That's what I'm saying. It's the whole world's
But
problem, but ours.
I have to ask you this question. Do you think like it's a solely like black issue in America, or is it just like a general issue in like American, let's say, colleges? Or do you think like it's only black people who are supporting this Gaza cause?
Out there, black person out there who are going to discriminate against us when all of this is over, regardless. Whether the Gazans move into a bunch of tent cities in the Sinai, or whether they take over all of Palestine, and we really call it Palestine, right, officially as a nation, they're going to still have a part of their country, a part of their cities called the Abid, and that's where the Zanj live. Those are the people who clean our toilets, work in the back of the kitchen, and fix our taxi cabs. Come on, man. Where's the Sudan protest? Where's the hashtag? Exactly, Nelson. That's the point I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's only black people. I just would hate to see any black kids get expelled or suspended from school because of Gaza. Gaza, fuck out of here. Sorry.
I mean, no, there's a point where, like Nelson said, okay, where's the Sudan protest? Because, yeah, like it's closer to home for African Americans. You know, at least you can sort of assume that there won't be as, you know, racist people as there would be in Gaza, you know. So at least, you know, it's you share the same skin color and some sort of like history, but there isn't really Sudan protest happening as well. So, you know, really I can't like argue with this sort of sentiment because that is true.
Sorry, sorry, actually, this might be a bit much for you. Sorry.
Okay. It's not much.
but But what's another angle? Because I've already like dug in on this for the past 10 minutes. What's another way to talk about this protest? Like, because one of the things that
Uh,
people are saying is like
there
there's
was
anti-Semitism. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I said, okay, like from at least like there's a friend here that I have, and she's doing like pro-Palestinian stuff. And she said that she got like sort of anti-Semitist applications that support Gaza because they don't want to support Jews. And like at the beginning of our conversation tonight, I said, okay, maybe some of the support might be coming from anti-Semitist people because they just want to support like whatever is, so maybe that might be the case. But also in this story, there is a person who is, I named it as the leech to white, but I forgot her name,
Hold on,
but
wait. Let me talk about the anti-Semitism though. For some
yeah.
people, I just feel like, and we spoke about this before the live stream. In the U.S., the people that are supporting Gaza are far left, right? It's not mainstream left wing. It's like far left people support Gaza and say that the genocide needs to end, and the right wing people are supporting Israel because a lot of them themselves are anti-Semitic. They hate Jewish people, or they're conservative Christians who believe that all the Jews need to be in Israel for the end days to come, and then Jesus is going to come back, kill all the Jews, and then we'll have Jesus's kingdom on earth for 2,000 years. This is honestly what they believe. This is not. I'm not making this up. That is honestly what they believe. It's like their end time prophecy thing. So the Jews being in Israel is necessary. That's why we can't have universal health care. We got to give all our money to the Israelis so that Jesus can come. You feel me?
Yes, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, like I don't know, everybody who doesn't have a country will move to the United States, really? Will they? Or is it because the United States got involved in it in the first place? So now if it goes wrong, they would have to come to the United States because they would be like, you guys supported us, so now you have to like, you know, take over.
Right. Well, are you saying like if the Jews lost Israel to the Palestinians or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the thing is like, the right wing does not want any more Jews in America. They want to keep as many Jews in Israel as possible, preferably all of them there, right? And so you have to remember also the right wing does not like Arabs as well or Muslims. So if they see a bunch of white looking European who just so happen to be Jews blowing the hell up on some brown people, they're going to be like, well, that's fine with me, which has been fine for the past 60, 70 years since the whole Gaza, West Bank, Gaza, Israel, Palestine thing started. It's been fine for the rest of the world to see this happen. So, the right wing in America is not anti. The anti-Semites of America are supporting the pro-Israeli protests, or at least they're not getting involved with the Gaza protests. From my opinion, does that make sense?
Europe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not really that familiar with like the whole anti-Semitic situation in the USA.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just still like If they didn't want to be like concerned because of it, it's like they shouldn't have gotten involved in the first place. But of course, America does get involved in anything.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna read some comments. I'm gonna go to Bogdan. Shout out to Bogdan. He opened up with "Free Palpatine." That's funny. That's a Star Wars reference. You caught that?
No, I don't know what Palpatine.
Well, Bogdan left some interesting comments. Bogdan said, by the way, Zdravo, Bogdan, kako si. My Serbian is very bad, but I just wanted to say that. But why do people care about these things? Like there's so many wars going on besides this. They've been fighting since the Cold War, maybe even before. It's not going to end. I want to ask Bogdan, is Kosovo and Serbia going to end? Y'all just going to give up Kosovo? This is the thing. Y'all just get so, people get so tied up in land. And that's why I put it in my commentary that I'm a globalist by nature, right? Like I don't care about borders or anything. I see myself as a global citizen. But I want to ask Bogdan if he's Serbian or if he's Croatian. If you're Croatian, are you going to give back that coastline to Bosnia? If you're Albanian, are you gonna give back Kosovo to the Serbs? If you're Bosnian, are you just gonna give up the Republic of Srpska to the Serbia? Okay, you're Romanian as well. Well, are you gonna give back the land to the Hungarians? Because Hungary still wants their land back, a part of Romania, and you got a million Hungarians there, and I'm in Hungary right now, so they want to know. You're saying like, oh, why do people care about this conflict? Would you care about this conflict if it was Romania falling apart? If all the Hungarians rose up and killed your president and wanted to take back their towns and villages that still have Hungarian names on the eastern part? Okay, sure. So Bogdan, you would give up Romania to the Hungarians who want it, would you? I mean, maybe Romania is that much of a failed corrupt state that you'll just give it up, right? But that's also what the Russians thought. The Russians went into Ukraine and said, you know what, Ukraine is such a failed corrupt state full of inept leaders that the people won't fight for it. I don't know. You say that now. People are so flippant, right? When people are willing to fight and die over something, you should at least respect it. You get what I'm saying? Like the Hamas, for as bad as they are, you got to respect the idea that we are willing to kill everybody in this bitch because we're in an open air prison. We're all willing to die for because we are literally dying right now. We're gonna either have a fast death or a slow death. You gotta at least respect it to some degree. But to say
Yeah.
like, oh, why are people talking about this? I find that very flippant because, you know, them boys were ready for it. I don't know. What do you think, Acti? Did I go off?
No, it's okay because like people are dying for it, so I think it's okay to talk about it. Like you said, you do have to have some respect for it. Like, yeah, I also think I wouldn't probably fight for my country.
Mm.
Sorry, but like at the same time, I would still support it from far away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it's still my country and all of those things, and especially like the since the Balkans is like such a complex place and very political at the same time. I feel like Bogdan here would care more if it was his own country that was going through the same thing, even though he's saying he wouldn't go to war for it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Bogdan says, I get talking about it. I just don't get the fact that people seem to forget about other wars. And Nelson Moreno says, Romania has some nice looking women. I got to keep it real. There's a Romanian Hungarian lady that I teach English to, and she is the sweetest. She's absolutely lovely. She's an older Hungarian lady, but she is so nice. She's the best student I have here. She is so dope. I have good experiences with Romanian people in general. Like they're cool. They're cool from my experience, right? But uh, Nelson Moreno says least racist Balkan country. I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure it's hella racist in Romania. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. This is the thing. This is the thing. We have to get over this idea that there might be a least racist European nation because in every European nation they've been treating a bunch of dark-skinned people hella shitty for a few hundred years, and they're called the gypsies. So like every European nation is just as bad as America, like for how they treated the gypsies and all the other people who have been here. In my opinion, am I tripping, Acting?
I mean, don't Romanis come from Romania? So
No.
are no?
No, the Romani people are a descendant of a bunch of like wandering people who came from India. So in India, they have this culture of people who who travel around and do like carnivals and stuff like that. And so, like a few hundred years ago, there was a big group of those people who migrated out of India. Some of them were like wanderers who were a part of those like carnival type groups. And then another group of people were probably leaving India because some kingdom collapsed or some famine happened. And then they ended up in Europe. So a bunch of Indians, dark skinned Indians, ended up in Europe, and it's been hell for them ever since.
Mm. Yeah, that's like I don't know. Every time I talk to a Hungarian, they say we don't discriminate against black people. We just discriminate against Romanis.
Mm.
So yeah, it's like a big issue here as well. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, they do have the N word in their language, right? They do have the word nigger in their language. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Where were we? We were talking about something.
We were talking about Gaza and the protest, and there's also the issue of the Egyptian president of the university.
Of Colombia, yeah.
I don't know if you want to give your take on her.
Right. So basically, Columbia is having a bunch of these protests, right? Columbia, the university, which is a big university in New York. A bunch of students are like sleeping on the quad, protesting for Gaza. The police are like whooping them on the head, telling them to go. And the president of the university, the top lady, and the first lady to lead the university is an Arab American woman. And her name is Shemat Afiq or something like that. What was her name?
No, I have to find it. Nemat Shafiq.
Nemat Shafiq, right? Born in Egypt, you know, I would assume, and just because somebody's from the Arab world doesn't mean that they automatically love Palestine or wants freedom for Palestinians. But it's most likely that you would, because this is a blatantly racist action that is happening against the Palestinian people. And every Arab that I know feels something for Palestine. You gotta be
Yeah,
the biggest coons in the world don't come from black people. They are the Arabs who defend Israel, hands down. If you're an Arab defending Israel, you're a bigger coon than Candace Owens. Like that is next level cooning.
yeah, definitely. Like if you're Arab, if you're a Muslim nation, or if you're just a Muslim, I feel like you should be defending Palestine, especially if you're like a white Muslim or white adjacent Muslim. I'm not referring to you because I know you got other issues, but
I got other issues. Sorry, Aki,
yeah,
that my issues are so other issues. I apologize.
no, I'm just saying you have like more to your identity than just being a Muslim. So I feel
Hmm.
like Turkey automatically you have to be pro-Palestinian. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
but like all of my Arab friends are like so passionate about Palestine. I just cannot imagine anyone Arab who would be against Palestine.
Hmm. But what's the sentiment in Turkey? Tell me how Turkish people, because when you talk to your friends, do they even bring it up?
My friends don't care about it. I
They
did
don't?
not talk about my friends about Palestine at all.
Really?
But Turkey because I don't know. I'm not really even sure what like the younger people in Turkey say about it. Most of them I would say are
Hmm.
pro-Palestinians.
Hmm.
But yeah, like my friends and I, we don't really talk politics unless it's about Turkey
Okay.
and it's big.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna jump into the comments real quick. So Nelson Moreno says least racist Balkan country, and then he said, "No, what's the best country in the Balkans for Black people to visit?" In my opinion, I think Serbia has gotten better. Belgrade is cool. I think you will have a good time in Belgrade if you just want like cheap food and cool sights and stuff to shop around for at a decent price. Uh, Going to Bosnia, I mean, going to Sarajevo in the winter sucks. Maybe go to Sarajevo in the summer, but in the winter it was kind of trash for me.
What about Macedonia?
Macedonia was cool. I like Macedonia. The southern parts, go to Lake Ohrid for me, like the southern next to the biggest lake, I think in Europe or something like that. And I want to go to Croatia. I have not been to Croatia, but I would like to go to Croatia because of the beach and stuff.
Yeah, I heard also. I mean, this is like outside of you know, the best place for Black people, but just because I have some friends from Montenegro at the university, I've heard that they have like the biggest canyon in Europe in Montenegro, so I really want to go
Hmm.
there too. But yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go here. So Bogdan said the Romi were also enslaved, and now people are mad at them because some steal, beg, or do worse things. Yeah, that's absolutely true. The Roma, or yeah, the Roma people, as they should be called, not gypsies, right? They were enslaved, and yeah. So we got to kill all this idea about there was no slavery in X country. I really that shit triggers me so much when Europeans say that stupid shit. There was no slavery in Albania or in Serbia or in whatever. Like they've been treating the Roma people horrible for years, literally keeping them like slaves and second class citizens. It's insane.
Yeah,
And Turkey's no different. Turkey's not off the hook. I know people think,
it's
oh,
not.
Simon's got a Turkish wife. He's always caking up for the always making up excuses for the Turks. Hell no. Y'all know
No, I
me.
mean Ottoman Empire had, African slaves in the palace, and also even today we have like a big Romani population,
Hmm.
especially in Istanbul, and they are like living in, impoverished places.
Yeah. All right, so let's go here. They keep to themselves to an extreme. I think Nelson was referring to the Roma, but I want to know, Nelson, in your country, do they have Roma people? Do they have gypsies? I assume they do, but I haven't heard about Romas or gypsies in Portugal. Anyway. So shall we continue? Shall we
Yeah.
continue? I don't know where to pick up on. Oh yeah, we were talking about Shemat and like her being like
Yeah, Nemat Shafik.
Nemat Shafiq. So Nemat is like basically gave it like she went to Congress and was like, I'll do whatever to protect the university and to stop anti-Semitism. These protesters fighting for Palestine, I'll do it, Massa. I'll go out there and whip them up. I'll get on the horse, Massa. I'll do it for you, Massa. That just tell me when to go, Massa. Like, God, the cooning, the insane level of cooning, and the crazy part is like this is one of the reasons like white supremacy will never be defeated because so many non-white people move to the US and try to do whatever to uphold the system rather than try to tear it down from within. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
But go ahead.
No, like I think when we were talking about it before, you said something like it doesn't really matter if we have like women up in the, powerful places, if we have people of color in those powerful places, because their mindset is like freaking same or even worse with white supremacists. So
Mm-hmm.
then it doesn't make a difference. It even makes it worse because now white people are saying like, oh, even your own kind is saying that you shouldn't care about Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you caring about it? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you're like the people who should understand you are calling the police on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just imagining how awful that would feel like if I was a Turkish person in the States and the I don't know, like the president of my university was a Turkish woman living in America, like American
Mm-hmm.
Turkish woman, and then she did this, I would be like devastated.
Yeah.
And honestly would like kind of, I would just be like really mad, and it's such a disappointment. And once again, like it doesn't really matter gender or color, like you have to have the right mindset to change things.
Yeah, exactly. Like just being a woman in a high place or an ethnic minority in a high place ain't enough. You get what I'm saying? Like you got to have some spirit. You got to have that like the point I imagine AKDI for you, like you want to get your degree so you can actually make change, not to be like some radical revolutionary, but if it came to it, you would use your education, your opportunities, your privilege to make the right choice if it did count. You get what I'm saying? Like no amount of money would pursue you to turn against your values or to turn against what you believe to be true or what's right in front of your eyes. I don't think there's an amount of money in the world for you to say, I swear this is not a genocide in Gaza. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
looking God in the eyes. You couldn't pay me to do that. You get what I'm saying? Because it's so obvious. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And oh, the thing is like it's kind of sad that these people who are at the top that are not doing anything to change the system, they are like the keys that would open that door up. Like if
Mm-hmm.
only those people actually supported these protests, it can actually, and I said this to you, it can change some things in the American society as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I said this, like maybe it can trigger something for like free education, because I don't know, maybe the school will be closed and the government cannot afford, universities to be closed, so they would have to do something about it. I don't know, like maybe I'm thinking too far ahead and I'm thinking like too, ideologically, but I'm just saying like it doesn't mean that, because just because it's so far away, it doesn't mean that it's so unrelated to our issues.
Yeah, yeah, no, it is because all of these are interrelated because the students are protesting against our government giving billions of dollars to Israel to continue to buy bombs and tanks and jets and stuff like that. And the students are like, bro, I can't even reload my meal ticket. I can't even pay for next semester. You get what I'm saying? And we have a country that
Yeah.
continues to send billions of dollars to foreign places and not reinvest in America. We have bridges collapsing, people barely making rent, and these sorts of things are where our tax dollars are going. And it doesn't seem right to to most Americans, right? And that's why the students are pissed. And I think on one hand, this could lead to revolutionary action because we were talking about this before. Every time Joe Biden sends $1 billion to Israel, he cuts student loan payments, right? Like, okay, $10,000 forgiven, $10 billion for Israel. You get what I'm saying? So this
Yeah.
is the trade-off that we have to deal with in this situation.
Yeah, but I'm just like at this point really like sort of proud of my generation here. One thing I can be proud of about my generation,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they do try to like look past those little things, because now about like when it comes to them, of course I believe most of them are surviving, right? They are struggling to pay things, pay rent, whatever, support their families and all those things. But I do feel like the newer generation also is looking for a peace of mind,
Mm-hmm.
and peace of mind has to come also from your society as well. Like you
Mm-hmm.
should have a society who is fair and just and values, justice and peace, and not supporting a genocide. So
Yeah.
and that's one thing I'm proud of my generation.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also yours too, because I would assume there are millennials in there as well.
No, the millennials have been stomping for Palestine because, October 7th is not the first time. There was the first Intifada, which happened, what, in 1980 or something like that? Or I don't know. There have been many Intifadas. I definitely remember there was one in the early 2000s where we were stomping for Palestine when the Israelis like bombed Gaza. Like, this is not the first time it's happened. And yeah, it will definitely not be the last, too, the way it's looking right now, because Genocide
Yeah.
Joe is on a warpath. Gonna jump into the comments real quick. Pedro Cordero said, Simon, where you from? Ain't it obvious, bro? Ain't it obvious? I'm Japanese. Uh, yes, we call them Ciganos. Interesting name, Ciganos. Nelson Moreno then
It's
said, the
kind of,
gypsy girl. Huh? Go ahead.
sorry, it's kind of similar to the Turkish word, because we call them çingene.
Chingane.
Yes.
Okay. All right, interesting. So Nelson Moreno says the gypsy girls are so pretty when they're young. Gotta ask you, Nelson, did you ever date a Roma girl? Did you ever have one on your roster? Let us know. Let us know. I don't know. Pedro Cordero then said the mindset it's the effing money, always the money. I would agree with that because I think Nemat is not going to risk making millions of dollars a year as the head of one of the biggest schools in New York City, right? Of course, she's the money is making her say fuck Palestine. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
So um, cut the problem to the root. It's the money. And then he talked about pigs and cows. I have no idea. Anyway, Nelson said it's impossible to date a gypsy girl. You could get killed. Is it the same in
Okay.
Turkey, Acty?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
I.
I mean, they do have like their own sort of traditions and music and culture and stuff like that to a degree.
Mm,
And yeah, I don't know, like in Turkey has romanticized gypsies a little bit, or Romanis, because like when I was little there was like this hit big television show about the life of a Romani like family or
mm-hmm,
families, like
mm,
that's set in that context.
mm.
So it's like I don't know, like, but in real life, people discriminate against them, but at some level, they're also like humorized, or I don't know. Like they are talented in making certain type of music and they only care about money and stuff like that. We have a lot of stereotypes, but like they're not like the Italian mobsters. No. I don't think you would get killed.
Okay, interesting. It's so different, hearing about how each of these countries deal with these sorts of people who have sort of been there for centuries, right? Like they have their own, they speak the language, they're possibly even the same religion, they're
Yeah.
still sometimes even indistinguishable from the regular people there, which it's very interesting how they're still sort of like ghettoized and itemized and stuff like that. Very
Yeah.
interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, the last question I'll ask you, Acty, because I think you're tired and you're too lit.
I
You
have
know,
to pee.
you have to pee. Okay, last question, last question. I'm sorry. Or if you really want to pee and you can't hold it, you can
No,
put your phone
ask me,
down.
ask me.
All right. Would you be protesting out there if you knew it could risk you getting kicked out of your school?
Mm, I don't think so. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I have to be honest. I
Okay.
mean, it
Why?
depends on like the percentage of me getting kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
And it also depends on like my family, you know. If I can afford to get kicked out, then I would protest. If like my family can afford another university or whatnot. But
Mm-hmm.
like being me right now and like my mom barely, handling my tuition right now, I
Mm-hmm.
cannot like say that I would go because I cannot be that selfish
Yeah,
about, my life because yeah.
I
But
got you.
yeah, if I could afford another university, I would, but
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Got
different
you.
obligations.
Different obligations. All right. IDK said hi. He said, "What's the theme now?" Well, you'll have to watch it on the playback. We discussed a lot of big topics. It was a very fun live stream. Really enjoyed chopping it up with you, Acty. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been another legendary episode of Live with Acty. Y'all watch all the previous episodes as well. Shout out to everybody who came in. There were a lot of people in the chat. IDK, Nelson Moreno, Pedro Cordero, Bogdan, uh, the other girl, I forgot her
Where's
name.
my Arnella B?
Arnella B, Mad Villainy, Query. Yeah, a lot of people came into the chat. Shout out to everybody. Ozzy as well. Y'all continue to come back. Y'all watch us on the playback. Leave your comments. What do you think about these topics? Name Simon Hill and